Here's a bit more information on GDPR, ready for the 25th of May. It's going to have a major impact on CareMed's customers. We're ready, I believe, and I just wanted to summarise some key points because I'll send out a little e-learning test, 5 questions to all of you, 4 multiple choice and 1 where you have to put a text answer, just a couple of sentences. And I'll use that test to decide what other learning that you need. And you can also ask me questions as part of the test. So I'll send that out this week. Basically, GDPR, if you were to say, well, what are the 3 main components of it? Greater emphasis on documentation, including that companies have to submit a privacy notice now. It includes mandatory reporting, and it is now mandatory to tell the data subjects if there's been a major breach and a major incident with their data. Previously, that was not in the NHS information governance rules, so that's going to have potentially quite a big impact. You have to record your lawful basis for processing, so people are very clear why you're doing it. There's greater emphasis for individuals about access to data, about portability of data, that's new, and about deletion, stronger rights for deletion, although obviously with patient health data, other laws apply. So the test's on the way. The key learning points from when I visited, we talked about the controller and processor and the data protection officer and what roles were needed. The one role specific to a person is data protection officer, so I'm CareMed's data protection officer, and you can come to me with any questions about it and I'll try and keep you up to date with all the changes and everything that's going on. There's talk in it about controllers and processors. These are not people, these are functions. There could be people in a very large company. You could have a head controller and a head of processing, but in a smaller company, you may well, like CareMed's, undertake both functions. You specify the system, decide what's in it as a controller, and you process the data on behalf of your customers. So these are functions rather than individuals' roles. From your customer's point of view, they've got the system specified to their requirements, so they are the data controller, so they're really in the frame for anything that happens with data and subject access requests, etc., and you are the processor. It's in the policy and it's all on the shared drive, the compliance folder, and I've tried to keep it as concise as possible. Retention of data was a question that came up, and I put in the privacy statement that existing laws and schedules apply. I went onto the NHS digital website and there's a lot of information about how long data has to be kept for different people. The key thing that GDPR brings in is that the age of a child is likely to be 13. We're waiting for that to be enshrined in law, but the age of a child will be 13. Quite a lot of laws about children's and children's medicines have different ages of a child. So I'll keep track of that and I'll start to publish what the data schedules are. I think some of them are changing. So there was some general information that went out when GDPR came in about deleting data on death. That doesn't apply to health data, and it never has. So there's a bit of misinformation sometimes around these things. Are your customers aware of data protection? I've produced a leaflet for them. I'm certainly having quite a lot of inquiries from community pharmacies now, so I'm happy to take those. And do your customers have a data protection officer? Because I've had quite a few people now from various health and academic sectors saying, oh, can you tell me about this? Can you tell me about that? And my general answer is to give what useful information I have, but also say, who's your data protection officer? Because that's the person who should be looking after the data for them. The RPS has asked that community pharmacies don't have to have the requirement for a data protection officer, and I don't think that will happen. Because even if you didn't have a named data protection officer, somebody's got to take that role. So I think the law will come through. It's going through Parliament at the moment, will apply to community pharmacies, and they will have to have a data protection officer. So if you have any questions, let me know and I'll send the test through. Thank you.